Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're going to look at FedEx on the daily, weekly, monthly time frame using technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So one run it had from April to almost the end of September. We went into these high pivots in this area. This high pivot could not get through the 169. I'm just going to say 170 area. We still have a lot of resistance around 172 to 170 until it gets above in here. Then I think we can possibly go higher and fill this gap. This will be a market trade. If the markets are dumping, this one, will go lower with the markets. So let's look at it from a closer point of view. So we have a pivot low here, pivot high here. We came back, we've shot up into this high, could not get above it, reversed out nice. Now we're back into the 250 retrace. We're trying to recapture the 20 MA, could not do it. Went right up on the jobs report, on the hype. Oh, it's great. But some sellers came in and just dumped it, still below the 20 MA. So technically right now, it's still in a bullish stance, but it's looking weak. It's setting up in a sloppy, choppy, bearish pattern. Let's see next week if we can get a close below the 163 area, fill this gap right in there. Let me stick. If we could fill this gap here, then I'm thinking if it fills the gap right around 162.86, and bounces up and tries to get back above the 20 MA, gets above it, then it's slightly bullish. If it hits this gap, has no bounce whatsoever, goes sideways and starts continuing lower, we are definitely going to 160, the 50 MA, 161, 160 area. This sets up in a bearish manner. We are definitely going down to the 154, 200 MA right around 153.83. There's also a gap fill right here at 152.59. If the markets start to dump, this one will be going back down to 145 area down in here, double bottom. If you're a bull, you need to get above this high right around 169 or 170. Once it gets there, I want some conviction, some push through, maybe an upgrade, maybe a stock buyback, because that's the only reason these things are going up is on news. So, but anyways, bearish pattern. Let's go back to the weekly. The weekly, we have this huge trend line here where we had a break above it. It actually confirmed, but it could not get above this all-time high and stay above there. Actually, I think it did by a couple pennies, but then a massive reverse. Look at that, right into that 1,000-point down day. Just could not hold it. So until we're above this trend line and then we keep going, I don't believe this one's going higher. We had a nice reversal last week that engulfed this one candle. We had 7-8 weeks up, engulfing reversal. They closed it on the trend line. This is a weekly chart, so I want to see this closing above the trend line on a weekly basis. And actually, at the end of the week, I would love to see it above 170, and then I think it can continue up. If this starts to dump and get below the 20 and this green line at 160.32, we are definitely going on down into the 155, 154 area, and then ultimately double bottom here right around 145 or so, and this big breakdown area too. See, we got above that big green bar, never could get it, then chopped around, tried to attack it again, came back in, now we're back up it. We did close above this. It looks like it's going to break out, but look at the volume. It's just disappearing. So it's pushing up on nothing. We had this big breakdown bar here. This was a good inside bar bearish pattern. We closed above it, but we never confirmed, and now we're back into the inside bar. So to me, that's a little more on the bearish side. We'll see what this week plays out. Like I said, at the end of the week, I want to see it above this area if you're a bull. If you're a bear, you want to see it close below the 20 MA and then possibly continue down in this side. Monthly chart. Monthly chart, same thing. You have this big inside bar. It's holding it, kind of choppy, sloppy. Until we get above this area, 170 or so, it's not going anywhere. They're trying, though. But on the monthly, we are in a bullish stance, but we're still in this big inside bar as well. We need to close above like 167, then ultimately the 170 area. Then I'll maybe be a believer. But this big breakdown bar here, which is right around 172 or so, or actually 173, it needs to get above that area to continue up. So FedEx, there's your points for bulls or bears, and you can take it for what it is. But the bottom line is, the markets start to break down, the SPY, the IWM, and the Russell, the Dow. This thing will be going lower. And with the market strong on Friday, this thing should have popped above and stayed above. So that's telling me there's some sellers in here, and that's the daily. Again, we retraced to the 250, typical 3-day bounce. Now I think we're going to start coming in. All right, guys, thanks for watching my videos. God bless. Hope you had a great weekend. See you on the charts.